Hello, Tom from Every Step Calculus, EveryStepPhysics.com. Path of an object. This is right from Yahoo, where the student asks the question and the professors or whoever answers it there, so you can see, check these programs and see what's happening. Index 8 to get to my menu. I'm already at path of an object. And we're going to use alpha to put the function in there. And the function is alpha 4 times t cubed minus 3 times t squared plus 5. I always show you what you've entered, but let's talk about this a little bit. There's no minus sign they gave in Yahoo. Okay, if there's no minus sign, then this function is upside down. It goes in like this. It doesn't go up and around like it's supposed to. So either way, it doesn't make a difference. Just if it's on a test, who cares? It's all nonsense anyways. So let's work it. Okay, the maximum height. Let's go number 4, maximum height again. And maximum height, when you set the first derivative here, 12t squared minus 6t, which is the first derivative. Notice this is the original function, and this is h prime of t, which is really velocity. 12t squared minus 6t. Okay, we set that equal to 0. Why? Because they do this constantly in calculus. It's a big deal. They don't tell you that make it very plain for that, but remember the derivative is just the slope of a line. That's all it is, okay? And when you set it equal to 0, then the slope is 0, and 0 slope is really a horizontal line. Well, the horizontal line is going to touch the function at only one point, and it's going to be at the highest or lowest point, depending upon the function. And there's a high and low point here too, but we're going to see just the high one, okay? So we solve for t equals 0. At 0, t equals 0. Remember, here's the y-axis. T equals 0. There's going to be a high point, and then a t at minus 0.5, just a little bit over, there might be another low point or high point. We don't know until you use the second derivative test. And check that. But remember, calculus is scored on the partial scores and the class curves. So whatever you can throw down in your test, that's what you're going to get points for. So you're going to get enough here to throw down in your test. And so let's continue. Time would be, maximum height would be at 0 then. Maximum height at 0 then would be 5, because remember the last number in the function is really the height above the ground, and that's 5. And these all, you set the 0 in here and solve, and that negates all these here, and you end up with plus 5 feet. Let's do something else here. Let's see the time it hits the ground, okay? Or let's do the velocity at the ground, okay? We set the first function equal to 0 because 0 is, then we solve for the time. I'd like to see you do this solve for the time here without my program. I couldn't do it. But there's a way to do it, obviously. But actually it's 0.877. The calculator does it for us. Time to ground is 0.877. And when we plug that into the first derivative, which is velocity, 12.877 squared minus 6 times 0.877, we get the velocity is 3.97 feet per second. Pretty neat how EveryStepCalculus.com. Go to my site, buy my programs, and pass calculus. Remember, the system is actually cheating us as students because they're wasting our time with this calculus. Nothing is more worthless than calculus. And even if you get a job at NASA someday, we all should know something about calculus, but not to the extent that they teach it. And so we need to pass this class and get out of there. And we don't have time to study the other classes if we're going to put all this time into calculus. Let me do the studying, which I have done, and then made programs for you to pass your tests or do your homework. Hey, have a good one.